Hey Becky, I just want to touch on Charlotte Potts because, looking out there, and I know I've seen her a couple of times this season, it looks like you're watching a Super League player. I thought she was, she's just absolutely brilliant when she's carrying the ball. So how pleased have you been with her development during the time at the club?
Yeah, Potsy's been a really important player for us for the last few seasons. She's, a great leader and somebody that loves the club. And yes, some of her in possession tonight in particular I thought was excellent. She spotted those little pocket passes really well. But yeah, I thought she was real leader in that back four and gave a really good performance.
And obviously Super League's where you want to be. Looking at a team like Everton, looking at tonight, what have you kind of learned in terms of the process and where, the further steps that you're going to have to take, to get to that level?
Yeah, Everton are a really good side and Brian's a very good coach. So they're so fluid in terms of their in possession and out off the ball movements. I think we've got to get to that level and it's going to take time. It's obviously our first season in the Championship, so to make that step up is a big step up. But I thought we competed really well tonight, and there's some really experienced players out there for Everton, and they brought on some stronger players towards the end of the game, which made it even tougher. But I thought we matched them well.
Becky, was the perfect start with a fantastic goal. When it's 5 minutes in, you must be thinking that's the perfect start. You couldn't have asked for anything better.
Yeah, no, started on a really positive foot and really pleased that Demi's obviously got her first goal for the club. I think Katie will be disappointed in maybe making it 2 at the back post. But it was a perfect start and we didn't want to be fearful going into the game. We wanted to, as always, play to win. I think when we played them in pre-season, we probably gave them too much respect. So it was about making sure that we made that right today.
Does it show how much trust you have in the whole squad, considering the amount of changes that you made, considering obviously the game on Sunday against Portsmouth?
Yeah, massive trust in the squad. We want to rotate because we've got a tough month. We've obviously got Durham, Sunderland and Charlton as our next 3 league games. There's the absolute trust in the players. I thought Sophie Haywood was excellent tonight. Her hold-up play was excellent. We've got that trust and every girl that came into the squad I thought did really well. It was lovely to see George Gibson make that impact and obviously great to see Emma Kelly back on the pitch as well.
Yeah, just finally on Emma Kelly, obviously a bad injury in the summer as well, and to get minutes against the level of opposition against an Everton, it must be very pleasant to see. And do you think she'll be in contention to potentially be in your squad against Durham? Yeah,
I think Emma, we know her quality. She was one of the best players last season in our promotion win, and she's a great player who's played, in the WSL already. So we want her quality back in the squad, back on the pitch. Hopefully Emma is in contention, but that's 15-20 minutes in the right direction tonight.
Perfect, thank you.
Cheers.
Yeah, Becky, great performance tonight, particularly in that first half. What was your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I thought we were excellent. I thought the middle 3 were excellent. I think Hannah provided that good cover and Jazz and Amber were really aggressive with their out of possession stuff, winning and collecting second balls and then starting attacks for us. I thought we were excellent in that first half. I think we tired as the half went on and we tired towards the end of the game. Hence why we made the swaps. But terrific performance.
And the captain's performance really from Amber, who was really box to box today, wasn't she?
Yeah, her energy is unbelievable. It's hard. I didn't want to bring her off because I thought she was excellent, but obviously you need to manage her for the weekend. Her tenacity and energy to get up and press. And when we played direct into Sophie, the support beneath was there because she was just anticipating everything brilliantly. So real good performance from Amber.
And also one of the players coming in for this game, Liv Watt, I thought she was excellent at fullback.
Yeah, Liv Watt is a class act as always. She's been on that journey from tier 4 to tier 3 now to tier 2. I thought she was excellent tonight. She came on for the last 15-20 minutes against Portsmouth and built her way into starting the game tonight. And I thought she was faultless.
Obviously, big game coming up on Sunday, so it's a short turnaround. So 1 or 2 changes perhaps for the weekend. Yeah,
I think we need to look and focus again on the analysis ahead of the Durham game. People bring different assets and we'll have a look. Obviously rested a couple of players tonight. Shania, Deanna didn't play at all. We'll look to mix things probably, but I think there's some players tonight who are probably going, the account I gave of myself tonight, I should be pushing to be in the starting 11 on Sunday.
That's great.
You had a great performance tonight, Becky. You must be happy with the press that the lasses did today, because we saw it was electric. Like everyone was just pushing for the ball to get the ball back, even the second balls. Especially Emma Bissell. She was just everywhere around the pitch today, it was phenomenal to see. Is that something you want Emma to go into, like an anchor role?
Yeah, I think in terms of the out of possession stuff, as a football club, same with the men's team, you see Anthony Gordon's energy at the weekend in terms of his pressing ability. It's, our immediate reaction to winning the ball back has to be imminent. So I think we've got the fitness and strength into the girls so that they're able to repeat that for the full 90 minutes, hopefully, at this level, because we're still making that step up. But I think, their energy and determination to win the ball back quickly is there. We need to keep working on a few bits, because at this level, if you don't do that collectively, you get picked off. But at the same time, I thought, it's a super strength and we need to keep building from it.
Thank you.
Yeah, Becky,
Hey.
thank you for the nice words as well about the travelling. I wanted to ask you about Rachel Furness, because we initially all thought that she was signed as a centre midfielder, and next we were down forward thinking, wait a minute, what's happening there? She's playing centre back and again tonight, but she doesn't look out of place.
Yeah, no, I think she signed as a number 10 and somehow she's in the back four. No, I think
Is she happy about that?
she just wants to play, so she's happy to play anywhere. It really helps having a left-footed left centre back, obviously, and she's just played so much football. She's got a great football brain, and you'd be happy with her anywhere on the pitch. She'd make a positive impact. But I think we want to get her on the ball more, so it gives us that option. How good she is aerially, and she's such a good organiser. So I thought she did really well, and something we'll probably look to explore again.
You've got to look at the start of the season, over 90 minutes. You've got to look at that, you've unbeaten in 4 games. You've got to look at that, that's a really good start.
Yeah, it's a really good start. I think, I go into every game thinking we're going to win. I know that sounds silly or naive maybe, but that's just my mentality and the players going into every game. Like, we can't have any fear. We've just got to set it up and work really hard in the training sessions and the analysis, and then make sure that the girls know the game plan. There's complete clarity around that, and then we've got the energy, we've got the attitude, apply it and see how we go.
And the last one for me is the 2 big games are now on the horizon. What's the local lasses thinking? Because they've got to be excited to talk amongst the dressing room and on the training pitch, like, oh, we've got Durham, we've got the Mackhams coming up. Is the excitement building?
Yeah, I think, you can say, it's just another game and all of that stuff, but it would be lying if we were saying that. Everyone's got that extra excitement and buzz, of course, because it's two local derbies. There's probably the excitement to play, Sunderland at the Stadium of Light, and then that reverse fixture at St James's. So I think, there's that energy and excitement in the group for those games. And we know it's going to be tough, especially Durham. We've had an excellent start to the season. So we've got to be ready to match that. But I think we take a lot of confidence from tonight and build that into the weekend.
90 minutes, you'll be happy with that. We'll come back to the penalty shootout in a minute, but 90 minutes you're happy with?
Yeah, I think definitely. I think we're slightly disappointed, which I think speaks volumes in terms of coming off the pitch, disappointed after 90 minutes against a WSL team, and a very good WSL team. Faced them in pre-season, and we were good enough, so we knew coming into it what to expect and that we wanted to be better. But probably a bit disappointed with the goal we conceded, to be honest. It was a little bit of a sloppy one. Sort of if the carved us open and created a good chance, you say fair enough, but a little bit disappointed with it. But obviously before the game we'd take that.
I don't know if it's unfair to say that the tactic of the strategy at the start was to stay in the game for as long as possible, but didn't necessarily plan for scoring after 5 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably right. You are probably right. Like, you've got to be honest. You've got to believe and you've got to be confident going into games. Of course you have. You've got to believe you can get something from it, but you've got to be realistic. And they're a quality team, so we knew the longer we stayed in it, the longer they'd get frustrated. But probably didn't plan. Obviously, we'll take it. Didn't plan on scoring in the first 5. But at that point, what a start. Our confidence was high, and I think, to be honest, we had. And maybe if I look at it back, I might be a bit biased, I don't know, but I think probably we had the better of the chances, certainly in the first half. I think they had a bit more possession, obviously, but I think we'll come away and look at that and say, we could have been sort of 2, maybe 3 up. I don't know, at half time, we'll see. Maybe I'm being a bit biased when I watch it back.
7 changes as well from the weekend, which shows the depth that you've got.
Yeah, I was actually just talking with my dad about that. In all the teams I've played in, there's been a few teams, and I think the depth in this squad is really something that'll hold us in good stead. I think this league's so competitive. Each year I say it's more and more competitive every year. And the team that wins it's not always necessarily the best team, sort of 11, but it's the best squad and it's the most consistent squad. And we've pretty much got strength in all areas. You've got people that can come on the pitch and impact. It really helps when you're making substitutions and there's not a drop in quality. I think obviously that'll, in the cup, great, because it means we can rotate and still be competitive, and then also in the league it means we can if we can afford, touch wood obviously not, but injuries, things like that, we can afford to rotate.
Yeah. As happy as you were with the 90 minutes, disappointed with the shootout?
Yeah, I think so. Obviously in pre-season we played AC Milan and we went to a shootout, so we was fairly confident going into it. Hannah in goal did really well. So I think we were quite confident actually going into the penalty shootout, probably a bit disappointed to be going into it. But yeah, it's just one of the things. I mean, penalty shootouts a little bit, I don't want to take any credit away from them, but sometimes it's just the luck of how it falls. Their keeper made 3 really good saves. I think the girls that took penalties were brave enough to step up, and they were decent penalties. They were all on target. It was just, the keeper did well. It's just one of those things.
That's good for me, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, so you mentioned there about the depth of the squad. You yourself have played out wide today. You started up front. Where do you prefer playing?
It's a good question, actually. The coaches have asked me the same thing, and I've just gone anywhere as long as I'm on the pitch, I'll be happy. But I don't know. I've started my career in the 9. I played at Villa mostly on the wing. When I was out in America, I played in the 10. So I'm happy, and it's just not defence probably. But yeah, I'm happy anywhere. I'm happy anywhere. Sort of in that top 4 really. I'm happy to give it a go and do whatever sort of Becky and the team, whatever role they see is best. But obviously it's dependent on game plan. If you want a hold up player in the 9, you might opt for me. You've got someone who's really pacey in Amy who offers you a different option down the middle. So it just depends on the game plan and obviously how we can exploit whatever team it is we're playing. But I'm happy to do whatever role I'm asked. Hopefully just not at the back.
No, I think Rachel's got that.
Yeah, I think she has now, yeah.
No, you played in this league for a while and in the top division, but you were saying, that Newcastle is for them, this is their first season and go at this competition. So you've got an experience, haven't you, to bring into the team? Yeah,
I'd like to think so. Obviously I've played in this league and obviously this cup for quite a few years now. I've always liked the cup, including the FA Cup. I think it's a good morale boost for the whole squad. Obviously, your league, you tend to have your regulars that play, but I think the cup offers, especially with such a strong squad, it offers people a chance to show what they can do, and it offers us a chance to play WSL teams, because obviously that's ultimately first and foremost we're focusing on the league, but I think eventually that's where we aspire to be. It's great to come up against sort of better opposition. You can only learn from that.
Yeah, that's great.
Cheers, thank you.
Like you said, that you and other players have got more experience, in the Championship and the Super League. Do you pass that advice on to obviously the other players that have just come up? Do you give them tips and this is what they're going, the speed of the different leagues going to be different? Yeah,
I know what you mean. Yeah, I try to. Obviously, you don't want to teach people to suck eggs, because at the end of the day, the girls that are here for a reason. They're here because they're capable of being here. So it's obviously finding that balance of, you don't want to be sort of intruding on telling them things they don't need you to tell them, but obviously you try and pass on little bits of knowledge. But this team is not short of a leader. We'll tell you that. There's plenty of leaders and plenty of people on this team that have even more experience than me, and have done far more than I probably ever will. So we're not short of leaders, but you try and pass on that wisdom. Of course you can, but ultimately everyone's here because they deserve to be here and they can play at this level.
And it's also good to see like tonight's performance in the subs, all the years are gelled together. It's like the team has been together for a couple of years, rather than newbies are coming in lost on there. But tonight it's just all these have been there for 5 to 10 years. Yeah,
obviously moving up to this level, you're bound to bring a decent chunk of players in. But I think that having that core group from the last season and even some girls from the seasons before really helps with us new girls coming in and feeling at home. When you come in, it already feels like a family. It already feels like you've been here a while, even though I've only been here a couple of months. So obviously having those girls who's come through the ranks with this club and know what it means to play for Newcastle United, it really helps you. But the girls that have come in have gelled really well, and I just think the coaches have got the balance right in terms of good players and good people. And yeah, I think the togetherness like shown today, the players that come on, the people supporting that maybe are disappointed not to start or want to support girls that really haven't had many minutes, and then even some of the girls that didn't get on, like just the togetherness of still supporting. I think we've got a really good group, and yeah, that'll hold us in good stead for the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi there.
Hiya.
What can you learn when you're taking on a WSL side in terms of league action? Because there are obviously higher teams and obviously in a higher division. How can you take that in a positive aspect into your league form?
Yeah, well, it's a good question. Actually, Demi said something similar at the weekend when we were playing Portsmouth, and that's no disrespect to Portsmouth or anyone in our league, but she was saying, like, even in games where we might feel in control, you know, don't play at a championship level, play at the level you're trying to get to. And obviously, there's no test like that than playing a WSL team. Out of possession, it's tough because you've got to be realistic and probably say that each game we come into in the championship, we look to possess the ball more than the other team, but you've got to be slightly realistic, and you're probably not going to do that as much against a WSL team as much as we had a decent amount today. But in possession, it's just the speed of thought, knowing where your next pass is before you receive the ball, and then the players around you have got to offer you options before it's even sort of come to you. So it's just being that step ahead. And then a big one's communication, especially out of possession. Like in the championship, you can maybe get by with being a little bit quiet and having a couple of leaders on the pitch, but out there when you've got Everton's like full-backs rotating into a 10 or whatever, you've got to have people communicating constantly. And that's one thing we've trying to be better at. And that's something we can obviously take into the league games.
And just finally for me, how you obviously just arrived in the summer, how have you settled in, and how has Newcastle United surprised you, if it has or not?
Hopefully I'm settling in well. I mean, you can be the judge of that, I guess. But yeah, I come to Newcastle at a really tough time in my career, having had a difficult few years in football. And I came here purely because I came down for a couple of days, and I thought if I can feel at home anywhere, it's here. And that's just a testament to the environment that Becky's created, that the club's created, the girls and the fans. And I came here because I thought if there's a club that can get the best out of me, I think it's here. So yeah, hopefully I've settled well. I think there's still improvements to be made. I think I'm still finding my feet on the pitch, but off it, everyone's brilliant. The environment, the fans, the girls. I'm really, really enjoying it.
Thank you.
Hiya, Sophie.
Hiya.
Johnny kind of stole the question there about settling, but I'm going to rephrase the question. How are you finding the Geordie accent, and can you understand the lasses in the squad?
I can, to be fair, out of accents, I seem to get the most stick. I don't know why. I don't think I've got that broad of an accent, but apparently I do. I am from Hull. I should be really conscious of this interview because my mum watched the other one and she said I sounded really common. But she taught me to speak, so I don't know why she's saying that. But yeah, no, I'm finding it all right. The girls are teaching us a few. It's the slang terms that I don't quite get, but yeah, I get a bit lost in translation. But I'm learning. I don't think I can pull off Away the Lasses yet, but I'll keep trying.
And then the last one from me is anyone at the squad that you've arrived over somebody and thought, no, she's kind of decent. I didn't think she was that good. I know I'm putting you on the spot there, but is anyone that surprised you in a good way?
I don't want to say in a good way because it almost suggests that I didn't expect him to be good. But I just think I'll give it. She asked me before I came in here as well to give her a shout out, so I'm gonna. Jazz, she's my roommate. It's not that obviously I wouldn't expect her to be good, but it's just she's so young, and obviously she was telling me her story a bit and how she sort of dipped in and out of football and to sort of be away from football and then to come back and to play at this level and to start how she is, to play how she is. She looks like a player that's been playing at this level for a long, long time. And yeah, out there today, I really enjoyed playing with her. For some reason, I don't know what it is, but I always know where she's going to be, and she seems to always know where I'm going to be. She's worked really hard on her. In possession, she's brilliant. She's a technician, but out of possession, I think she's worked really hard to sort of win the ball back. And yeah, I think Jazz has had a great start to the season, and she's also won, I think it was Player of the Month, so big shout out to Jazz.
Swagger like Jazz.
So, yeah.
Thank you very much.
No problem.